la principal, Bacardi?
Directora.
Doherty.
Yeah.
Bacardi.
Yeah. So I just want to recognize that it is unusual for students to become reclassified fluent English proficient in these early grades in TK2. This is quite special, unexpected, really. We expect 4, 5, 6 years for full language acquisition.
Se ve pocas veces niños tan pequeños que sean procedentes en ambos idiomas, generalmente hasta cuarto, quinto o sexto año de primaria es cuando ya se ven bilingües realmente los niños, así que es un gusto muy grande.
All right, so let's get our students up here.
Entonces vamos a llamar a nuestros alumnos.
Soy la directora, Tiffany Doherty, and I'm very excited to read the names of these students who have reclassified this year.
Muy emocionada de leer los nombres de los alumnos que se han clasificado como bilingües este año.
So we had a total of 8 students who are still in our school, and then some students who went over to Fitch, and so Principal McGuire has those certificates.
Entonces tenemos 8 alumnos todavía en nuestra escuela y varios se fueron a la otra escuela y Principal Fitch tiene los otros.
So I definitely saw some of my students. I'm going to do those 4 and then I'll read the rest of them too, just so you hear their names and in case they came in after I.
Y definitivamente vi a 4 de mis alumnos, voy a leer los nombres de ellos y todos por si alguien más haya entrado después de que me haya dado cuenta.
So felicidades, congratulations to Doriana Dolores Angulo.
Doriana Dolores Angulo.
No está, ahí está.
Aquí está tu certificado.
And our next student is Uber Saldana Ibarra.
Uber Saldana Ibarra, nuestro siguiente
Uber.
alumno.
Would you mention what grade they're in? When you,
These 2 students are both in 1st grade.
now, currently.
Currently.
Outstanding, thank
Son
you.
alumnos de primer año, ellos dos hoy en día.
And also Zarella Lemos is also in 1st grade.
Y Sorella Lemus también está cursando primer año.
So just to be sure that I didn't miss any other 1st graders, now I do have a 2nd grader in the house, but hang on. Just to be sure, I have Andrea Dolores Salazar.
Tengo a Andrea Dolores Salazar, primer año.
Malaya Herrera Sanchez.
Guerrera Sánchez.
Abel Ortega Ceja.
Abel Ortega Ceja.
Logan Ramos Perez. Logan Ramos Perez.
Ramos Pérez.
I didn't think I saw any of them, but those were also all 1st graders this year, so they reclassified at the end of kindergarten.
Ellos todos son de primer año, reclasificados a fines de kinder el año pasado. Creo que no vi a ninguno de ellos.
And now to honor a 2nd grader who's with us, who classified at the end of 1st grade, Elizabeth Velasquez Torres.
Y de segundo año, Elizabeth Velázquez Torres, para honorarla.
And here's your certificate.
Su certificado.
Oh, we'll get the next. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Bien hecho, eh?
Good evening, Erica McGuire, principal at Fitch Mountain Campus, and I am really excited to be able to present certificates to our 3rd through 5th graders who reclassified at the end of last year.
Buenas noches, soy Erica Navarro, principal del Fitch Mountain, y me da mucho gusto poder dar los certificados a los de tercero, cuarto y quinto que han certificado a fines del año pasado.
Before I do that, I know there's at least 3 teachers in the audience from Fitch Mountain campus, and I would love if they would come up here. Stephanie, Mrs. Fife, Mrs. Nunez, and Mrs. Phipps.
Mrs. Fife, Nunez y Fit.
Because really it's the teachers and the parents and the students working together to do this work, and we couldn't have done it without the team. So first we're going to...
Son parte del equipo. Sin los padres, maestros y los niños no hay equipo, así que hay que honorarlas también.
So first we're going to start with current 3rd graders who reclassified at the end of 2nd grade. Derek Herrera Sanchez.
Derek Herrera Sánchez, que ya está en tercero.
Emilio Madrigal.
Emilio Madrigal.
I'm just going all of the names. Next, Hadia Nori.
Hadia Nori. Puedo tratar todos los nombres.
Jose Rico Santiz.
Jose Rico Santiz.
Ahí está.
Next, Josue Rios Garcia.
Josué Ríos García.
Next, moving into our current 4th graders, Andres and Zuris.
Ya los que son en cuarto año ya.
Itzel Lopez Guzman.
Itzel López Guzmán.
And I didn't mention, but we have 23 students
No
here
mencioné,
tonight. So,
pero tenemos 23 alumnos.
Christina Lopez Lopez.
Cristina López López.
Yarlet Martinez Saldana.
Yaret Martínez Saldana.
Sophia Nori.
Sofía Nori.
Diego Rivera.
Diego Rivera.
And our current 5th graders, Victoria Avalos Silva.
Y quinto año, Victoria Álvaro Silva.
Valeria Bautista.
Valeria Bautista.
Eduardo Campos Ledesma.
Eduardo Campos Ledesma.
Jonathan Cano.
Jonathan Cano.
Alexander Carmona Ramirez.
Alexander Carmona Ramirez.
Ali Cholula Herrera.
Ali Cholula Herrera.
Gael Hernandez Bautista.
Gael Hernández Bautista.
Camila Hernandez Lopez.
Camila Hernández López.
Stephanie Hernandez Lopez.
Stephanie Hernández López.
Christopher Jimenez Cruz.
Christopher Jiménez Cruz.
Jessica Patino Perez.
Jessica Petiño Pérez.
And this is our second sibling group, Caleb Rios Garcia.
Nuestro segundo grupo de hermanos.
Round of applause for all of our students reclassified.
Para todos, por favor. Gracias.
If at all possible, we ask you to stick around. We'd like a big group picture of all the students, but if you have to leave, you have to leave. I understand.
Si pudieran quedarse, nos gustaría una foto grande de todos los alumnos, pero si se tienen que retirar, lo entendemos.
Good evening. My name is Nicole Odetto, and I am the principal of Healdsburg Junior High.
Buenas tardes, soy Nicole Novet, soy la principal de, pardon me,
Healdsburg Junior
Healdsburg
High.
Junior High.
We'd had 15 students reclassified at the end of last year.
Tenemos 15 alumnos reclasificados a fines del año escolar pasado.
Our students are grades 6 through 8.
Son de los años sexto hasta octavo.
First, we have Eric Espinoza Garcia.
Primero tenemos Eric Espinosa García,
Kenya Garcia Garcia.
Kenia García García,
Giovanni Madrigal Rodriguez.
Giovanni Madrigal Rodríguez,
He's playing soccer. Melanie Medina Mercado.
Melanie Medina Mercado,
Oliver Omana Gonzalez.
Oliver Omana González,
Yoritzi Ortiz Valencia.
Yuritzi Ortiz Valencia,
Brenda Ruiz Reynaga.
Brenda Ruiz Renaga,
Leandro Vega Montoya.
Leandro Vega Montoya,
Christopher Jimenez Reyes.
Christopher Jiménez Reyes,
Udiel Alvarez.
Uriel Álvarez,
Heather Herrera Cortez.
Heather Herrera Cortés,
Laisha Leva Contreras.
Laisha Leva Contreras,
Ana Perez Duarte.
Ana Pérez Duarte,
Citlali Saucedo Rosales.
Citlali Saucedo Rosales
And Eli Zepeda Lemus.
y Eli Cepeda Lemus.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Amy Jones, the principal of Healdsburg High School.
Soy Amy Jones. Buenas noches, principal de Healdsburg High School.
I first want to say to all the families, you must be so proud of your students.
Tengo que decir primero a las familias, han de estar tan orgullosos de sus alumnos.
And I'd also like to appreciate all of the teachers in the district for all the work they do to help us to where we are today.
Y también quiero honrar a todas las maestras, maestros que nos ayudan a estar en el punto donde hemos logrado el día de hoy.
Okay, I'm going to go in order of my certificates here. I see some of my students, but a lot of our students in high school, they're in sports and they have a lot of homework. So for the ones that are here, I really appreciate you. Isaac.
Voy a ir por orden. No todos los alumnos están aquí hoy porque algunos están en deportes y otros tienen mucha tarea, así que aprecio mucho los que se hayan venido hoy.
Isaac Bermejo Lepis.
Isaac Bermejo Lepis.
Flavio Knopfel.
Flavio Knopfel.
Roy Paz Castro.
Roy Paz Castro.
Yara Pérez Castro.
Yaneli Pérez Castro.
Esmeralda Guzman Martinez.
Esmeralda Guzmán Martínez.
Stephanie Escobar Ruiz.
Stephanie Escobar Ruiz.
Ricardo Gómez Ramírez.
Ricardo Gómez Ramírez.
Natalie González.
Natalie González.
Carolina Gutierrez Gutierrez.
Carolina Gutiérrez Gutiérrez.
Sho Katsuki.
Sho Katsuki.
Alexis Garcia Peña.
Alexis García Peña,
Maria Guzman Martinez,
María Guzmán Martínez,
Ruby Guadalupe Mandujano,
Rubí Guadalupe Mandujano,
Victor Ornate.
Víctor Ornate,
Just you and me.
To be fair, I should point out that Flavio, his native language is Swiss German.
Para ser justos, debo de señalar que de Flavio su lengua principal o original es el alemán suizo.
If I could ask all the students to come up front, line up if you would, and their teachers and their principals.
Puedo pedir a todos los alumnos que pasen al frente y sus maestros y sus principals,
We'll just say about that.
rectores.
Antes de que vengan los niños, quiero primeramente agradecer también a los padres por su apoyo y también claramente los maestros, que por los maestros que les dan la enseñanza de inglés, están aquí sus niños siendo reclasificados. Pero quiero explicarles que es un reto muy grande ser reclasificado. Las expectativas son muy altas, así que por la razón que ustedes están aquí son porque sus niños han logrado estas expectativas altas y es una cosa muy grande de celebrar, pero también quiero animarlos que no dejen de usar su idioma natal, sigan leyéndoles y hablándoles en el español o en cualquier idioma que hablan en casa, porque es sumamente importante que sigan siendo bilingües los niños, se les abren más puertas, así que aunque han logrado este gran logro, por favor, sigan animando que sus hijos usen el español en casa. I just want to thank our parents for being here, for providing the support that they've provided, our teachers who have done the amazing job of helping our students to get to this point of reclassification. I just am encouraging families to continue to use your home language at home so that your children continue to be bilingual and if possible biliterate. It's super advantageous to be bilingual, biliterate, so please do not lose your home language. And again, this is a very, the expectations to be reclassified are very high, so really congratulate all of your children for putting in the effort and again, for you parents supporting the process and of course our teachers. So thank you to all of you and congratulations.
If I could ask the students and their teachers to come up. In fact, well, to have the students first, just come up, line up here. We'd like to get a group photo.
Por favor, se pasan los alumnos y los maestros
And we have a
para
new,
tomar una foto en grupo, por favor.
We have a late arrival, so I just want to recognize her, Valeria Bautista.
Good job, Valeria.
so if we can get the little ones in front. the
And
bigger
quickly,
ones
while
in
the
back.
students line up here, maybe we'll get the taller students in the back.
Más atrás, por favor.
One other thing, in addition to talking about honoring students' home language, is all the students will be receiving a book of their choice that is bilingual for them to keep at home. So we want to reaffirm that bilingualism and reading and learning and speaking in both your home language and in English is very important to us. So to honor that, you'll all be receiving a book that your child is choosing. So.
Todos los alumnos bilingües van a recibir un libro bilingüe, tanto en inglés y en español o su otro idioma, y eso es para honorar el esfuerzo que han hecho y lo van a llevar a su casa y va a ser el libro de su elección. Vean todos hacia acá. 1, 2, 3.
And stay here because we want all the principals.
Principals, please, teachers.
Porque tenemos los maestros y los rectores de las escuelas, por favor.
Can I just add staff, not just teachers? We do have a couple of very important staff
Absolutely,
members from
absolutely.
HES
Bosco
here as well.
has to be in the picture.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Come on, Bosco.
Las demás
Bosco helped.
personas que forman
And
parte
Miss
de la
Diaz
facultad de las
as
Yeah,
well,
and-
please.
Yep.
Yes.
And then, well, Bosco brings Greta, Miss Greta.
Greta knew she was supposed to come. I saw Miss Alma not walking up.
And Alma for sure, yes.
Excelente.
Mindy, subs could have been in it too.
And again, congratulations to our parents, to our teachers and our support staff, and to our bilingual students. Congratulations.
Muchas felicidades a los padres, a los maestros, a toda la facultad y a nuestros alumnos bilingües.
Good job, Christina.
Exactly.
Okay? Go back to your parents. Thank you. Good job.
That's a why we do it moment, right?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Ustedes no tienen que quedar. No es obligatorio. Si quieren salir, está bien. Pero si están bienvenidos a continuar con nosotros también. Ajá.
Go eat. Go sleep.
Gracias otra vez por estar con nosotros.
Muchas gracias.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Totally. Let's do it. Okay. So we have a translator online? Okay, great. All right, so to keep the party started, we go from one amazing event to another. We have in the house tonight Hadley Reuter, who won a national medal this summer. And so, yeah, come on in. Chef Corsino was texting me while this was going on. They were, on the East Coast, and I have to say, when I heard about this, I'm like, man, if this was an athlete, we'd be having a ticker tape parade when Hadley got home. So this is the best we can do. But I just, got on the marquee at the school. To win at this level, particularly in this competition, this is, lots of kids all across the nation participate in culinary. This is not a small field. So just want to recognize Skills USA first, and I'm going to invite Chef Corsino and obviously Hadley. This is an amazing accomplishment, making us so proud. And she's young. She's still, you're a junior now, right? Yeah. So she won as a 10th grader. So she's got some years yet to go here and show us proud. But this is a huge accomplishment, and thanks for being here tonight so we could celebrate you. I know it's a little funky, like, yay, welcome to an adult meeting at night, but thanks for being here. So I'm going to turn it over to Chef Corsino.
Well, thank you for having us. We can go to the next slide. I don't know who's doing slides. Is there a clicker? I have the same one. It doesn't work. It works half the time. There we go. So I'll kind of address people in the back too, since there's only so few of us. Everybody left. We're online too. Yay. Hi, everybody online.
We're international.
We're international. There we go. It's the way we want to be. Well, so just a little bit of background on Skills USA, kind of what it is, what we're about. We're going into our 4th year, and finally, we're having normal years, which is great. When we started this now 4 years ago, we had 5 students, 5 very ambitious students. Most of them were seniors who graduated last year, and they got us going. And now we have a whole group of new leadership, Hadley being one of the presidents. We have co-presidents this year. And they're really taking it into the future. We were a little overwhelmed with our first major meeting this year. We went from about 25 active members last year, and we had about 50 students show up. Of course, always a little bit of fallout from there. But it was absolutely amazing to kind of see the interest in that. And I think the school themselves are understanding what Skills USA is. So Skills USA is a leadership organization, high school, national leadership organization that focuses on career technical skills. And if students choose to, they can compete in a variety of competitive events. There's 153? 108? 108? Oh, there was a lot more. It's a really long
Maybe we
list.
just let Hadley talk. Yeah.
Right. She's got, it's been a long day. But so we have all these different competitions, and there are some leadership competitions for those of you familiar with FFA. The leadership competitions are very similar, almost identical. But that's where the similarities kind of end. So we compete, and I'll actually go to this slide first, in culinary, commercial baking, restaurant service, engineering, customer service, medical skills, firefighting, welding, entrepreneurship. That was just last year. We're looking to add currently about 6 to 8 more events in there. If anybody happens to know anybody in 3D animation, I'm looking for a mentor because we don't teach that. So feel free, reach out. But last year, we had an amazing year. So we had our first year. This was going in 2019 to 2020, so we all know what happened that year, where we had these students. They all medaled at regionals. We were all going to states, and then everything was canceled. So we went into our next year. Everything was all online. Somehow we grew membership from 5 to 17. Still not sure how we pulled that off. We had a number of all of our students who competed at a regional, qualified for a virtual states. We took 2 medals at virtual states. They were both silver medals. And then we were really excited last year we could finally do something in person again. And so we brought 28 students to regionals, and every single one of them medaled with a bronze, silver, or a gold. And then 17 of those students, hard to get seniors to commit long term, but 17 of them went on to the state competition, and we had 5 state medalists. Hadley being one of them, gold in culinary arts. Hold it up, yay! Got to bring the hardware today, yeah. The other gold was in engineering. That was Molly Miller. She opted not to go to nationals. Really hard to get seniors to commit past graduation to anything. But she's on her way. She's actually at Stanford now, so she's doing fine. She's doing fine. Yeah. She's doing quite all right. Our silver medalist was in restaurant service, and that was Liam O'Gorman last year. And our 2 bronze medalists was Julia Dolph in culinary arts. So we took 1 and 3 in culinary arts. We're really hoping to sweep that all this year, and in baking. And the other bronze medalist was Indica Carroll in commercial baking as well. Which brings us to the road to nationals. It was a long, long road. How many chickens did you have to, debone? Dozens. So the actual competition itself for what Hadley had to do was present an appetizer, a clear soup, and 2 entrees over a 5-hour period of time with a mandatory 30-minute break where you can keep cooking, but you can't touch anything. So you better put stuff on low. And it was quite a feat. We were in Atlanta, Georgia, so we were adjusting to time zones. We were adjusting to humidity. It was really hot because Atlanta is really where you want to be at the end of June. Anybody's ever been, don't go at the end of June. It was a very long walk from the hotel in that humidity. But you can see up there, we were at Relish Culinary, practicing off campus. We got her practicing as much as possible. She dedicated her first week of summer vacation to hanging out with me and a bunch of chickens and produce, which there were definitely times where it got a little tense. But hey, I think it turned out well overall. And you can see Hadley there on the right with her actual dishes. These were practice dishes, which I know some of you got to taste. Some of you. There was a lot. I know. Next time. I'll make sure there's a group text. But you can see her there with the dishes that she did in her menu there. The medal. Hold up the medal. Yeah, here we go. Bronze medal. And there you see her right after being up on the podium. Got a scholarship to CIA. You got a bunch of swag too, right? Like a whole knife roll and really cool
Did you beat
stuff.
the girl behind you because she didn't look happy?
I believe she did.
Yeah.
This is the thing at a national competition of this caliber is, and I warned Hadley before this, like students will walk out halfway through. They won't finish, and you need to have your head down and forget that they even exist because crazy stuff's going to happen. A student got taken away by an EMT. It was this whole craziness that happened, but Hadley persevered, and this was my favorite shot of her going into competition. We got to frame that one. So Hadley, everybody. But we're looking to hopefully at least repeat with one or many more students going to nationals moving forward. And we're definitely poised for success this year. We've brought on an additional advisor. Drew Kempiak is helping me because if I learned anything last year is way too much work for one person.
That's awesome.
So we're getting support on the engineering side and the sciences a lot more. We're really looking to expand our offerings with that. Any questions? Yeah.
No, I just want to, Hadley, great job. And Derek, thank you so much for your leadership on this. You've really grown the program, and
thank you.
It's amazing. So we need to talk more about it, but it's awesome. Good work.
Thank you.
Appreciate the service to our students.
I'm just in awe. I'm just in awe. How do you do this? Don't explain. It just happens. Is that
magic?
Yeah,
And
nothing.
Hadley,
She
when can you
shrugs.
cook
I love
for
it.
us? I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
Yeah. Well, thank you for representing us so well, and I see great things. There might be an opening over at Dry Creek next year. I'm not sure.
Trying to get her into another place locally. You got junior internship coming up too. That's tomorrow. Oh, she got an interview tomorrow. Where do you have an interview? At Single Thread. 3 Michelin star restaurant.
And I'll come eat.
Right. Right. So everybody, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. I didn't even know that was happening.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I just want to acknowledge the work that both of you guys put in. Summer school was up and running, and that kitchen was humming. And, this doesn't happen by chance. The hours that you both put into this to make this accomplishment happen is impressive. So thank you. Good hard work. Keep going.
And one last thing is we have a fundraiser coming up on October 13th.
That's what I was going to bring up.
Right? I meant to bring a flyer, but I didn't remember that. So we'll make sure that gets sent around to the crowd as well.
I will share that with you.
It's
I wasn't sure how
newsletter.
quick that was. So
Detroit
it
pizza?
was,
Is that
Detroit pizza.
What is Detroit pizza?
It's the best pizza, and as a New Yorker and a baker, I can concede that Detroit pizza it's like a thick crust. It's got cheese grizzle on the outside, little pepperonis. It's delicious.
Chicago-ish.
It's more like focaccia.
Okay.
It's more like a focaccia, and I can say that in wine country, and people know what I'm talking about. Nowhere else in the country. But yeah, that's coming up on October 13th, and orders close. It's a pre-order event on the 10th. And
Awesome.
It's $50, dinner for 4, everything, including beverage this time. Yeah, share it with everyone.
Derek, I'd like to take a picture of you and Hadley.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for coming out tonight. Yeah, good job.
Oh, and her regional medals on there too.
So small.
Thank you, everybody.
It's a great way. Yeah. I think we should just end it. Move on.
Yeah.
End on a high. Okay. After consent. Okay, public comments on non-agenda items. The public may address the board on any consent item or item not listed on the agenda. Pursuant to the Brown Act, during this period, the board cannot consider issues or take action on any item not listed on the agenda. Time limit is 3 minutes per person. Do we have any comments at this time? We do. How
Mr.
wonderful.
President,
Mr.
members of the board,
Mr.
Mark
Thimig.
Themig.
my name is Mark Themig. I'm with the City of Healdsburg as their Community Services Director, and it's a privilege to be here tonight and addressing the board. The relationship that we have, the city and the community has with the school district, doesn't exist in every town and every community, and it is really special here, and the community benefits, and hopefully tonight's action about pickleball will also benefit the students as well. I made a promise to the superintendent that pickleball would come to this board once, and that's this evening, and we'll fulfill that commitment, and we'll work proactively with the pickleball community as the project evolves and the community engagement continues with our pickleball group. I also want to thank all the staff in the school district. We've done some really amazing programs together, our distance learning care program, the ACES after school program, all of those things that we do together on a regular basis benefits the community. And on behalf of the city and our team, I want to thank you. So thank you.
And I'll say right back at you, in particular with ACES and distance learning, we move mountains together to be able to serve those kids.
It was amazing.
Some of the darkest times we've lived through. So thank you for your partnership.
120 kids a day, and it was truly amazing. So
and Mark and his staff makes it easy to cooperate. So thank you for your collaboration.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mark. Any other comments? Okay, seeing none. Approval of the consent agenda. Please note that item 11.3K is not a discussion item, but rather a consent item. Do we have a motion to move forward, to approve?
I move to approve the consent agenda.
And I second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. And the motion carries. Okay. Public comments on agenda items. Members of the public have the right to address the governing board on items of interest, providing it relates to the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. Your request to address the board will be heard at the time the item is being discussed. In accordance with the board policy 9323, individual speakers shall be allowed a total of 3 minutes to address the board for a maximum of 20 minutes on each subject. With board consent, the president may increase or decrease the time allowed for public presentation. And moving on to item 12, student learning. The good part here. Swearing in of our new Healdsburg High School student.
Trustee, so we have Ms. Abigail Highfield, who is going to be sworn in. She is a senior at Healdsburg High School and was duly elected by her peers to represent them here on the school board. And I had the opportunity to meet with her this week because I had been down with COVID. So we finally got together, and I think she's going to be an awesome addition this year. So Abigail, if you want to get up, we're going to swear you in and make it official. Yeah.
Can we see if we can use like our Araceli's mic to try to hear that on the video? Sure. Thank you.
Okay, Abigail, please repeat after me. I, Abigail Highfield.
I, Abigail Highfield.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of California.
And the Constitution of the State of California.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
And that I will bear true faith and allegiance.
And I will bear true faith and allegiance.
To the Constitution of the United States.
To the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of California.
And the Constitution of the State of California.
That I take this obligation freely.
That I take this obligation freely.
Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
And that I will well and faithfully.
And that I will well and faithfully.
Discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Discharge the duties from which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations, board
Thank you.
member.
Thank you.
Abby, were you part of the Parley Pro group last year that came with FFA? Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, so we saw Parley Pro in action. Abigail is versed in that. She probably teaches things. So, yeah. So welcome.
That worries me a little. They're going to call me out gently, please. Okay, item B, student board member motions, resolution number 2302. This is a resolution we will consider adopting resolution 2302, authorizing its student trustee to make motions that may be acted upon by the Board of Trustees, except on matters dealing with employer-employee relations pursuant to Government Code 3540-3549.3. Do I have a motion? Do I have a motion?
Well, she can't yet. You have to pass this
we
to
have
make
to pass
it.
this motion.
I was just checking to see if she knew parliamentary procedure. Everybody else, okay. I was just trying to be nice. Okay, so do I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second. Okay, a motion and a second. This is a roll call, please.
Trustee McAllister.
Aye.
Trustee Romo Flores. And President Patmaso.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Now you can make the motion. Okay, resolution 2303, week of the school administrator. Resolution 2303 is in recognition of the important contribution the district leadership team makes in the lives of our students, staff, and community at large. And I would like to read this resolution, please.
Well, while you're pulling it up,
Please
want
do.
to say we have a great team of administrators. They're here. They're often the last cars in the parking lot, and they are tirelessly working on behalf of our students and are all advocates for them. And just really pleased with the team that we have this year. So thank you all for your work. And Mike, I'm going to let you read. Yes, Diane, you too. Yeah. No. Mike, go ahead and read the resolution.
All right. Whereas leadership matters for California's public education system and the more than 6 million students it serves, and whereas school administrators are passionate, lifelong learners who believe in the value of quality public education, whereas the title school administrator is a broad term used to define many education leadership posts: superintendents, assistant superintendents, principals, assistant principals, special education, adult education leaders, curriculum and assessment leaders, school business officials, classified and educational leaders, and other district employees are considered administrators. And whereas providing quality service for student success is paramount for the profession, and whereas most school administrators begin their careers as teachers, the average administrator has served in public education for more than a decade. Most of California's superintendents have served in public education for more than 20 years. Such experience is beneficial in their work to effectively and efficiently lead public education and improve student achievement. And whereas public schools operate with lean management systems across the nation, public schools employ fewer managers and supervisors than most public and private sector industries, including transportation, food, manufacturing, utilities, construction, publishing, and public administration. And whereas school leaders depend on a network of support from school communities, fellow administrators, teachers, parents, students, businesses, community members, board trustees, colleges and universities, community and faith-based organizations, elected officials at district and county staff, and resources to promote ongoing student achievement and school success. And whereas research shows great schools are led by great principals, and great districts are led by great superintendents. These site leaders are supported by extensive administrative networks throughout the site, and whereas the state of California has declared the second full week of October as a week of the school administrator in Education Code 44015.1, and whereas the future of California's public education system depends upon the quality of its leadership, now therefore be it resolved by the Association of California School Administrators that all school leaders be commended for their contributions they make to successful student achievement. Congratulations and thank you. Do I have a motion to pass this resolution? Sorry.
I move that we pass this resolution.
And I second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
It passes 4-0. Thank you.
It's
And
a
thank
roll
you,
call vote.
administrators.
It's roll call as a resolution.
Oh, it's a roll call. Thank you.
All right.
I knew that.
Trustee McAllister.
I was checking to see.
Aye.
Trustee Romo Flores.
Aye.
Student Trustee Highfield. Aye. President Potmissel.
Aye.
Thank you.
And thank you all very much
Thank
for
you.
your leadership.
Okay, item D, resolution 2304, school and classroom capacity limits.
Yeah, so this may look familiar to some of you. We had this resolution back when we had the charter school, and you have to set limits for a charter school. And so this is a capacity limit resolution. This is brought back because we now are technically open to interdistrict transfers, but we did it with the caveat that there are limits to the number of students we're going to let in based on our class size. So we took the limits directly from the policy, put them in this resolution. This is a legal requirement to do every year that we are going to be open to interdistrict transfers. So it's something that we do need to pass. So any questions I can answer about this?
I don't have any questions.
I'll entertain a motion. I move to approve the resolution.
I move to pass resolution number 23-04.
You're in the minutes.
Okay, this is a resolution.
I second.
Oh, second page. Jeez. I'm falling apart.
All right. Trustee McAllister.
Aye.
Trustee Romo Flores.
Aye.
Trustee Highfield. President Potmissel. Thank you.
And I believe I need to close this meeting to go to public hearing. Meeting is adjourned for a moment. Open the public hearing regarding sufficiency of materials. Any questions or comments? No public comments? No comments from the board? We'll close the public hearing. Open the hearing for resolution number 2305, sufficiency of instructional materials.
So as found in your board packet, I'll give you a second to get there to resolution 2305, the education code 60119. So I'm here as your director of curriculum and instruction to certify that we have a sufficiency of instructional materials. Any questions? They're listed there on the document.
Saying no questions, I'll entertain a motion and a second.
I move to approve resolution number 23-05, sufficiency of instructional materials.
I will second.
And this is a roll call vote.
All right. Trustee McAllister.
Aye.
Trustee Romo Flores.
Aye.
Trustee Highfield.
Aye.
And President Potmissel.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to mention too, as a community funded district, how lucky we are to have the quantity, quality, new instructional materials. It is a rare time where I have to say no to standards aligned instructional materials, both for the core and supplemental materials. So thank you to our community and the property taxes and you all for being great about approving and making sure that this is an important part of what we do, that we've got new plenty, and to the teachers and the students that when they ask for something, we can normally make sure that they get it. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
12.1G.
All right, this is an important discussion item around the beginning of, it's actually not the beginning, we're kind of mid-process. Us district office administrators have been involved in training around multi-tiered systems of support for, at least 6 to 8 months. And this is an important step in our work. So we're working with I think there's 5 partner districts. There's Healdsburg Unified, Windsor Unified, Mark West, and Pioneer Olivet, that would be 4 districts, to create a coherent system in all of our districts around multi-tiered systems of support. So today is the first read of a board policy that would establish MTSS as a system in our district. We have to build the system still. So this is the first step in creating the environment and basically the directive from the board as policy to build it out. And so it's an important first step. It's actually a really short policy. We wrote it together as administrators from the various districts with our consultants, Judy Elliott and Brian Gaunt, who are national experts in MTSS. So if we can go to the next slide. I'm going to pull a mic and just read it to you because it's very quick. The multi-tiered systems of supports framework is a framework that uses collaborative data-informed problem-solving process to ensure continuous improvement by aligning multiple tiers of instruction, intervention, and/or acceleration to meet the needs of all students. MTSS is grounded in high-quality, standards-based instruction that integrates academic, social, emotional, and behavioral learning. The Healdsburg Unified School District supports schools in implementing, sustaining the district-wide framework for MTSS to ensure all students receive equitable access to opportunities to promote their academic achievement, social emotional growth, and behavioral development. Superintendent or designee in collaboration with educational partners shall develop guidelines and fully implement this framework throughout HUSD and continually monitor progress and deliver regular updates to the board. So for the next 2 years, we'll be doing that bottom paragraph, building it out. And so we actually had our principal orientation this week. Was it yesterday? Seems like a long time ago. So yesterday morning, and so that was the first step for them to get involved, and we're going to be creating leadership teams to engage in this moving forward starting in January. So we're excited about this. It is the lens. It's really not another thing. I want to stress that. This will be the lens through which we do everything. And I have a little, typically when you talk MTSS, you see a pyramid. So can we go to the next slide? Just for those of you who this might help you understand better what it is. There's the academic side, there's the behavioral side, and there's tiers of intervention or targeted students. And the vast majority are in the universal interventions, research-based core instruction. And then a smaller percentage of students will require some sort of intervention in tier 2 and an even smaller percentage in tier 3. And students can move between the tiers. Ideally, we are addressing their needs prescriptively using data to inform when a student needs an intervention, and they might go to tier 2 for a little while and then come back into tier 1, and et cetera, et cetera. So it is a system through which we will address student need, and our administrators at the sites and our teachers will be co-creating it together. So it's not something that we just put on and have to do. It's something that we work to build out together. It will have a very Healdsburg flavor. So we're excited to be engaged in this work, excited to be working with other districts so we can learn from each other and share. And as I said, this is an important first step for you all to give us the directive as policy to carry this out. So it's a discussion item today, and we would bring it back on consent next month if it pleases the board. Questions, comments?
Just one comment. And you know this from the board. We are excited about this. We look forward to it. It's not just, oh, okay, thanks, we're done. This is a big piece of the work. And I congratulate you for getting it started 6 months ago, and at least 4 months ago. And I look forward to hearing more when you report back to the board.
Yeah, thank you.
Likewise. This is a great start. I can't wait to see the AR.
Yeah, well, that's what we're going to build out the next few years. So, yep. This is it's just a first step.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'll just reiterate. What Mike said, that I'm really supportive of this whole endeavor, and I think it's very cool that there's a collaborative quality with other districts, and that also, we're able to tailor it to what's appropriate to our district. And I just really think that this is key, important stuff to have so carefully detailed and planned, and the policies around it. So I'm really looking forward to what's next. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Thank you for your support, and we'll bring it back next month for your approval.
Thank you. Moving on to H, the Acosta Educational Partnership Scope of Work.
So no slides. There is a cover sheet and a scope of work in the board packet. So those of you who are following along online, we are excited to get this work underway to continue to support equity and humanizing our schools through an ethnic studies lens. It is very important to the work that we do. We have received help from the Acosta Educational Partnership. Dr. Acosta and a number of his colleagues will be starting with them, hopefully this is approved tonight, on Tuesday. So we have a session scheduled with our Ethnic Studies Institute participants starting on Tuesday. What you see in the packet is to get the work rolling. This is not comprehensive for what we plan to do for the school year, but we wanted to get a contract in place so we get the work going. So please understand this is just for the first couple of months here, so we can get some of the key initiatives that we already had the balls rolling for, the Ethnic Studies Institute, working with our youth. We had a great closing session at the end of the school year with the Ethnic Studies Club and a number of other students who are interested. So we'll continue to do that work and also foster partnership with Marcy Becerra Academy. We spent about half of the day with Dr. Acosta and his colleague, Orlando Corrion, and Orlando is now in charge of the administrator credential program at Sonoma State. He's coming from UC Davis. His doctorate is in working with multilingual students, and so now he's in charge of all the administrator training in at Sonoma State, and is also a colleague of Dr. Acosta. So he spent some time with us during our district leadership team kickoff in August. So continue to get support for those of us who, are leading this work. None of us know, none of us are experts in this, as Acosta and others are. And then along with that, consultation. So it's a limited scope of work at this point, like I said, to get the work kicked off, continuing conversations with Corazon Healdsburg and the city. AEP is also providing services for the city. There's an important event coming up next Wednesday night, the Encuentro. Yeah, I'm going to say it. I'm going to practice my Spanish publicly. Encuentro. Am I saying it right?
No, you're close. Yeah.
Okay. A listening session where we want school students and families to visit at the community center to hear how to make our community and our schools better. And so this synergy between the city, Corazon Healdsburg, and this HUSD is happening. It's small. It's, we have lots of work to do. Once Corazon Healdsburg has a new executive director in place, we expect that work to take off a little faster. And that also is part of why it's a limited scope of work. We need, the chief executive officer of Corazon Healdsburg to be in place in order to make plans. So I want to recognize that firm commitment for the organizations and the city to continue to work together. But we're going to catch a little bit of time so they can make sure that their CEO is in place before we make plans for them of how they're going to communicate with us. So I am looking to get this approved so we can get this work going. Any questions or comments?
I just, I'm glad we're getting it started, and thank you for pointing out that it's, a first step. And I do also want to point out that it's not just about ethnic studies. I mean, I know you know that, but for whoever may be watching, but it is truly about our practices and our anti-racist equity and our mission and vision statements around creating equitable education for all students. That said, I will entertain a motion. Okay, I'll make a motion. I'm sorry. I don't know what number it is. I know it's H 12.1H, the Acosta Educational Partnership Scope of Work.
I'll second.
It has been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? It carries 4-0.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Reports is Heffier.
do not see a HEF representative.
Ada, Robin?
Good evening. It's great to be back. So here's what I have from the teachers. We have had our back to school nights. And the teachers this year are happy, and they're enjoying their kids, and they're just glad to be back in school. Thank you.
And you even had an earthquake on your back to school night.
I had an earthquake on back to school night. Some of us evacuated, and some of us couldn't figure out what was going on.
I was that new principal.
I was sitting in science class during the earthquake. Everyone was like, all our phones are going like.
Thank you, Robin.
CSEA. Nothing. Okay. Board of Trustees, any reports?
You know, we do have a student trustee report. We didn't want to pressure her into having to have it, but if she says she's got something. Okay.
Impressive.
You typically would, but you're welcome to stay there if you want. Either way, yeah. It's okay. We don't always make the student trustee do it the first time. So you're an overachiever. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Abby. I just wanted to quickly talk about leadership. It's a new zero class at Healdsburg High, just because we wanted to really dive in. We've previously not had it. We've just had like elections, and then we've had student body. But this year we really wanted to target the leadership and get more people involved, which is great. We've had so many students in the class. But what I wanted to really talk about is homecoming is coming up on Saturday, and this week has been a really big success. For nominations for homecoming royalty, we typically have like maybe 4 per grade, and total this year we have a little over 30 nominees.
Wow.
For all 4 classes. We're trying to find cars for the parade for all of those students, but it's really exciting because we switched it up for the clubs to be able to nominate students. So that's also bringing a little bit more diversity into that. So it's really great to see all those people that will get recognized. And then also the theme for this year is decades. So we had sort of like a board meeting we do on Mondays, and we all decided which grade is going to do which. And so we get to decorate our float for that theme. And so that's been really fun. It's been crunch week. We've also had spirit days all week. Monday was pajama day. Tuesday was anything but a backpack day, which is really fun. Some kids brought microwaves.
That's why there was a shopping cart.
Yeah, that's why there was a shopping cart. Today was on Wednesdays. We were pink. Miss Jones Kerr's really rocking it. Tomorrow. Oh my gosh, what's tomorrow? Yes, Country Club versus Country Western. So that'll be exciting. And then Friday, of course, is Super Spirit, and is also our homecoming football game, which will be really exciting. There we'll we'll announce who's senior royalty, as well as we'll have our parade float judging competition. And then Saturday is the official dance. And then also this week we decided to do a community service project, which we're doing with a local homeless center. And it's just like beanies, socks, tents, and I think sleeping bags. So that's really exciting because it's also for Spirit Points. So I just want to talk about leadership. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
That's great. Any reports from the Board of Trustees? I'm just going to make a comment now as opposed to the end of the meeting. I think all of us attended Mr. O'Connor's civics class to give them input into what it means to be, I don't know, what a civic person, elected official, thank you, whatever. And I found a couple of things very interesting. One is their immediate interests, and I'm not going to voice what their immediate interests. I'll let Principal Jones, I'll talk to her later. But how can we get this? How can we get that? And also their question was, how do you get to where we are? How do you become an elected official? What drove you, et cetera? So there was interest in that, and I thought that was very good. I'll leave it at that, but it was great, and I appreciate Mr. O'Connor having that opportunity for us to be there and for the kids to interact with us.
Take a break.
Oh, here, can I make a comment too, actually? I prefer this time slot to the very end of the meeting when no one's here. I just wanted to say that I attended as a parent both the FMC back to school night and the junior high parent night, and it was so awesome. It was so awesome. Both events were really, really well attended. Tons of families came out. There were students there. The teachers did such a fantastic job. The schools looked amazing. It was just felt wonderful to be back together again and to just see, you know, our campuses kind of be filled with happy faces again. And everyone just did such a great job. And I know those are complicated events to put on and to make them worthwhile for everybody who showed up, and they definitely were. So thanks to everyone very much.
I want to piggyback on that. The night of the junior high back to school night, we had the earthquake, and I first, we walked out of where we were, made sure everybody's safe, and then I immediately called Rob Smith, our M&O director, and it was like just when we thought we've done everything, right? Because we've done fires, we've done floods, we've done pandemics. That was something we haven't done together. But I wanted to recognize not only him, but our maintenance and custodial team, because they came out immediately to inspect the campuses, went to the junior high first. The high school had a Corazon event, so went over there to make sure everything was okay, make sure there were no gas issues and things like that. So just wonderful response, and as has always been, but it's something that we can't take for granted because they do just such a fantastic job. So,
and I'll second that. I was at the high school at the time at a HEF meeting, and I thought we were leaving and the whole building shook. But again, Rob was there probably within 10 minutes. I think he stopped at the junior high first, so on his way. But a great response by our staff, and I think 3 or 4 off-duty custodians show up as well. So again, and I also learned what to look for at the gas meter. If it's red, get the heck out. If it's green, you're okay. But I appreciate that.
Right. So.